Yes, I have. Oh, man. Typing kind of loud. Oh, seated. All right, everybody seated. Hey, Heather, thank you for... Oh, he's going to show his face. Let me put him up on the screen here. On... Let's see, where is he at?
Good evening. This is the time for the 5 p.m. calendar and initial appearance court on January 25th, 2025. The court's orders for the taking of fingerprints and DNA samples made on the first calendar of this month will apply to all hearings on this calendar. I will call you each up to the podium one at a time. Please listen for your name. I'll then announce whoever is up next. Please sit in the chair that's right outside of the courtroom. I'll let you know what you've been arrested for, what your next court dates are, and any release conditions that I'm ordering today. Let's go ahead and start with Goyne Robinson to the podium. And Jose Romero to the chair, please.
All right. Man, I'm happy they don't have no Timu translators today. Man, they definitely be slowing everything down.
Good evening, sir. May I have your name and date of birth?
Yes, Goyne Robinson, 7/12/85.
Thank you. We are here today on a Superior Court new case. You were arrested on allegations of dangerous drug possession, Class 4 felony, drug paraphernalia, Class 6 felony, and criminal trespassing, Class 3 misdemeanor. I will find probable cause, and I will appoint you an attorney. I'm setting a status conference on January 30th at 8:30 in the downtown Superior Court. Because you were on felony release on another case when these new allegations allegedly occurred, I do have to hold you non-bondable by statute. But I am setting an evidentiary hearing on January 31st at 1:30 p.m. Speak with your attorney. Your attorney can argue for your release at that point in time. All this is going to be in your paperwork. Do you have any questions?
No, sir.
Okay. Go ahead and take a seat to your left. I'll bring you your paperwork in just a moment.
Hey, Faith, thank you. Thank you for that. Appreciate the
Jose Romero to the podium. And Luis Rodriguez to the chair, please. Good evening, sir. May I have your name and date of birth?
Hey, Rihanna.
Jose Romero, January 16, 2005.
Thank you. We are here today on a Superior Court new case. You were arrested on allegations of possession of a weapon by a prohibited person, Class 4 felony, carrying a deadly weapon, failing to admit, a Class 1 misdemeanor, and driving with a suspended license, a Class 1 misdemeanor. I will find probable cause, and I will appoint you an attorney. I am setting a status conference on January 30th at 8:30 and a preliminary hearing on February 3rd at 8:30, both in the downtown Superior Court. I am going to issue a secured bond today in the amount of $25,000. That does mean you can use a bonding company. If you do post bond, I am ordering that you not have contact with the arresting officers, no contact with any listed co-defendants, no weapons, no drugs without a valid prescription, and no driving without a valid driver's license. All this is going to be in your paperwork. Do you have any questions?
No.
Okay, go ahead and grab your paperwork to your left and then take a seat.
Next. Yes, and this is real. What time?
Rodriguez to the podium.
Right now,
Leslie Ruffin to the chair, please.
Arizona, it's 5:06 right now, acting up around your birthday as
well. Sir, may I have
well.
your name and date of birth?
Louis Anthony Rodriguez, Jr.
And your date of birth?
09/29/1980.
Thank you. We are here today on a Superior Court new case. You were arrested on allegations of threatening or intimidating with gang ties, Class 3 felony, threatening, intimidating with injury or damage to property, Class 1 misdemeanor. I will find probable cause, and I will appoint you an attorney. I am setting a status conference on January 30th at 8:30 and a preliminary hearing on February 3rd at 8:30, both in the downtown Superior Court. I am going to issue a secured bond today in the amount of $10,000. If you do post bond, I'm also ordering that pretrial services supervises you in the community, that they install an electronic monitor on you prior to your release. I'm also ordering that you not return to the scene of the alleged crime, no contact with any victim, complainant, or witness, no possessing any weapons, no drugs without a valid prescription, and no driving without a valid driver's license. All this is going to be in your release paperwork. Do you have any questions?
Cawthon, I was hoping that I'm the sole provider of a 5-year-old, and I was hoping there was a chance, since it's been so long that I've been released and had a felony. It's been over a decade. I've turned my life completely around and grew out of a bunch of drugs and gangs and all that stuff.
Okay.
I do get it. When I initially was arrested, the officer, the sergeant, did tell me that I would be booked on a misdemeanor and in the basic precinct, and the next morning, and this morning, then I would have more than likely just been released. And then when I went to do my fingerprints, then there was that other charge added on there, which he didn't say would happen. So then when I see now, that's why I'm here now, to try to plead my case.
So I have to consider about 15 different factors when setting release conditions. Your criminal history and the age of your criminal history is one of the things I have to take a look at, and I did consider that. What I am more concerned about is the allegations, and I understand that they're just allegations at this point in time, are that you made some pretty frightening statements to the victim in this case. So I do have some concerns about releasing you on less onerous means, given what you have allegedly said in this case. Now, we're not here to determine whether or not you actually did any of these allegations today. We're just talking about whether your arrest was proper and what conditions I can set to safely release you into the community. But given what the recordings of your alleged voice said, I do have concerns if I were to release you on lesser means, so I am going to order that $10,000 bond. Now, I am appointing you an attorney, so you can talk with your attorney. Your attorney can argue for a modification of any of my orders at the next hearing, and that way the state and any potential victims would also be able to weigh in as well, but that'll be up to your next judge.
So is the $10,000 a cash, or can I pay?
Secured bond, so you can't use a bonding company.
Okay, yeah, I appreciate you, Copy.
No. Grab a copy of your paperwork to your left and take a seat.
So these arraignments here, they're all
Leslie
day long.
Ruffin to the podium.
They're all day long,
Teddy
every day of the
Valentin
year.
Lopez to the chair, please.
Saturday, Sunday, happy birthdays, every day. Every day. They never shut down here.
Good evening, sir. May I have your name and date of birth?
Leslie Glenn Ruffin, January 4th, 1992.
Thank you. We are here today on 3 probation violation warrants and 1 arrest warrant. On your arrest warrant, you were charged with 1 count of narcotic drug possession, Class 4 felony, and 1 count of drug paraphernalia, a Class 6 felony. I will appoint you an attorney to represent you in this case. I am setting a status conference on January 30th at 8:30 and a preliminary hearing on February 3rd at 8:30, both in the downtown Superior Court. I am going to affirm the bond in the arrest warrant. That's a $1,000 secured bond. We're also here today on 3 of the probation violation warrants for violating terms 1, 3, and 5 of your probation. I will appoint you an attorney in all of these cases. I'm setting a probation revocation arraignment hearing on January 31st at 8:30. That's in the downtown Superior Court. I am issuing a $500 secured bond on the first case, a $750 secured bond on the second case, and a $500 secured bond on the third case. So you have a total bond today of $2,750. If you do post bond, I'm ordering that you not have contact with the arresting officers, no weapons, drugs, or alcohol, and you must contact probation within 72 hours of your release. All that's going to be in your paperwork. Do you have any questions?
Yeah, what if I was wrongfully arrested? Because I was held against my own free will from a security guard. He put his hands on me and tackled me and basically kept me like on the scene.
I hate when that happens.
For the police to come. That's why I'm all like, my pants is damaged and dirty and whatnot.
Okay. So what you're describing is someone who appears as not law enforcement wrongfully held you.
Right.
That's not something that's to address in criminal court, but I am appointing you an attorney on all this. You may want to talk with your attorney about what your potential options
You think he says?
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, that's all I wanted to mention.
Understandable. Go ahead and grab your paperwork to your left and then take a seat.
What I want to know, what's up with that jacket?
Teddy Valentin Lopez to the podium.
Is there a snowstorm?
To the chair, please.
Is there anybody from Arizona here, Maricopa? Is there a snowstorm out there, Maricopa County? Do tell, please.
Good
Do
evening, sir.
tell.
May I have your name and date of birth?
Teddy Valentin Lopez, 6/15/77.
Thank you. We are here today on a Superior Court new case. You were arrested on allegations of narcotic drug possession for sale, Class 2 felony, narcotic drug possession, Class 4 felony, drug paraphernalia, Class 6 felony, assault, Class 1 misdemeanor, and disorderly conduct, a Class 1 misdemeanor. I will find probable cause and I will appoint you an attorney. I'm setting a status conference on January 30th at 8:30 and a preliminary hearing on February 3rd at 8:30, both in the downtown Superior Court. I am going to issue a secured bond on this case in the amount of $2,500. We're also here today on a Justice Court warrant out of the West Mesa Justice Court for a case involving exceeding the posted speed limit more than 20 miles per hour, which is a Class 3 misdemeanor. I will appoint you an attorney. I'm setting an arraignment hearing in the West Mesa Justice Court on January 29th at 8:30, and I will set a secured bond in the amount of $150 on that case. So you have a total bond today of $2,650. If you do post bond, I'm ordering that you not possess any drugs without a valid prescription and no driving without a valid driver's license. All this is going to be in your paperwork. Do you have any questions?
Yeah, in order to pay everything, you're gonna give me my credit card and all my possession, and now can
so you,
like,
can
how
talk,
do
you can talk to the detention officers about what you'll have access to.
Okay.
Likely you'll have access to any cash that you had on you when you were arrested, but not your wallet. Also, when you get back to processing, you'll have access to the bonding companies as well. So you can call the bonding companies if that's how you choose to go to post your bond.
Okay.
Okay. Go ahead and grab your paperwork to your left and then take a seat. Paul Espinoza to the podium and Kiana Rodriguez to the chair, please.
Next.
Good evening. May I have your name and date of birth?
Paul Anthony Espinoza Jr., DOB is 89 of 1980.
Thank you. We are here today on a failure to appear bench warrant on a case involving narcotic drug possession and drug paraphernalia. I will affirm the attorney that was already appointed to represent you. I'm setting a status conference post-warrant in the downtown Superior Court on January 30th at 8:30. I am going to affirm the bond that was in your warrant. That's a $2,500 secured bond. That does mean you can use a bonding company. If you do post bond, I'm ordering that you not have contact with the arresting officers, no drugs without a valid prescription, and no driving without a valid driver's license. All this is going to be in your paperwork. Do you have any questions?
Yeah, I was, the reason why I missed my court was because I was being detained at the time through Tempe. I think it was Tempe Police Department had me detained for court, throughout court, so I couldn't make it at all. Is there any way I can probably get I have $195 on me. Is there any way I can get that to a secured bond or?
So, I mean, whatever cash that you had on you, you can utilize to post your bonds. You can also go through a bonding company. You can talk with the detention officers back in processing to see what you can do in terms of what your actual property was. But I am ordering that bond today.
Oh, so it is secured though, right?
It is secured,
yes.
Yes.
Okay, so, all right, thank you.
No problem. Grab your paperwork to your left and take a seat.
Man, he's going to be in the streets in no time.
Tiana Rodriguez to the podium and Roberto Mercado to the chair, please.
I like this guy because he shows his face.
Hi.
Good evening. May I have your name and date of birth?
It's Kiana Rodriguez, 03/28/1995.
Thank you. We are here today on two different cases. The first is a Superior Court probation violation warrant. Actually, they're both probation violation warrants. It's for violating terms 3, 4, 5, and 15 of your probation.
Damn, not
I will appoint
15.
you an attorney on both of these cases. I am setting a probation revocation arraignment hearing on January 31st at 8:30. That's in the downtown Superior Court. I am going to affirm the bonds in the warrant. It's a $250 bond on your first case and $500 on the second, so $750 total.
Why is it?
And I'll give you an opportunity to ask questions at the end when you get through everything.
Sorry.
First, okay? So if you do end up posting that bond, there are some release conditions you must follow. I'm ordering that you not possess any weapons, drugs, or alcohol, and you must contact your probation officer within 72 hours of your release. The general number for probation will be in your paperwork. Did you still have a question?
Yeah, I don't understand why I have two different cases.
So you have two different instances of probation that you're on currently, so they're two separate cases. You can shake your head, but I'm looking at it.
I only have one probation case.
So you have a probation case from a case in 2024 and then one from 2021. You have two different cases that are open.
Wait, what? I'm confused.
It's not possible.
Okay, so you can talk with your attorney about that, and you can see if that is not possible, but I'm looking at the dockets. You have an open probation.
How'd I get on probation in 2024?
I don't know. I wasn't there.
It's a case that started in 2024.
I've never been charged with anything.
You were sentenced on May 16th of 2024 to probation.
That's all the same case, sir.
It's not the same case. They have two separate case numbers. So go ahead and grab your paperwork to your left and then take it.
Next!
Roberto Mercado to the podium.
I don't remember being on probation.
And Ashley Gabbard to the chair, please. Or Lauren Ashley Gabbard.
Take off your hoodie.
What is 15 for probation? I want to
Good
know.
evening, sir. May I have your name and date of birth?
Robert Mercado, Jr., the 32795.
Thank you. We are here today on four different cases. The first is a Superior Court new case. You were arrested on new allegations of resisting arrest, risking physical injury, Class 6 felony, obstruction, refusing to provide your true name, a Class 2 misdemeanor, and failing to obey a police officer, Class 2 misdemeanor. I will find probable cause and I will appoint you an attorney. I'm setting a status conference on January 30th at 8:30 and a preliminary hearing on February 3rd at 8:30, both in the downtown Superior Court. We're also here today on 3 probation violation cases for violating terms 5 and 15 of your probation. I will appoint you an attorney to represent you on those cases as well. Set a probation revocation arraignment hearing on January 31st. That's at 8:30 a.m. in the downtown Superior Court. I am going to issue a secured bond on each of these matters. It's a $250 secured bond on each case, so $1,000 total. If you do post bond, I'm ordering that you not have contact with the arresting officers, no possessing any weapons, drugs, or alcohol, and you must contact probation within 72 hours of your release. All this is going to be in your paperwork. Do you have any questions?
No.
Okay, go ahead and grab your paperwork to your left and take a seat. Lauren Ashley Gabbard to the podium, and Isabel Sanchez to the chair, please.
Isabel Sanchez going on the chair. Hey, David, are you looking? Do you see what I'm looking on the right?
Good
I know
evening.
you're
May I have your
looking.
name and date of birth?
Lauren Gabbard, 3585.
Thank you. We are here today on a probation violation warrant for violating terms 3 and 5 of your probation.
Okay.
I will appoint you an attorney to represent you.
Okay.
I'm setting a probation revocation arraignment hearing on January 31st at 8:30. That's in the downtown Superior
Okay.
Court.
Okay.
I am going to affirm the bond in your warrant. That's a $250 secured
Okay.
bond.
Okay.
If you post bond, I'm ordering that you not have any weapons, drugs, or alcohol, and you must contact probation within 72 hours of your release.
Okay.
All that's going to be in your paperwork. Do you
Okay.
have any questions?
No.
Okay, grab that paperwork and take a seat.
So it depends.
Isabel Sanchez to the podium.
It depends on how many clients they have for the day.
Saavedra to the chair, please.
So normally they run like 30 minutes to an hour, sometimes up to 2 hours. It
Good
just
evening. May I have
depends.
your name and date of birth?
Isabel Sanchez, 51393.
Thank you. We are here today on a Justice Court warrant out of the Santan Justice Court. It's for a case involving failing to stay at the scene of an accident and driving with a suspended license. I will appoint you an attorney to represent you. I am setting an arraignment hearing in the Santan Justice Court on January 30th at 8:30. I am going to affirm the bond in the warrant. That's a $250 secured bond. If you post bond, I'm ordering that you not possess any drugs without a valid prescription and no driving without a valid driver's license. All that's going to be in your paperwork. Do you have any questions?
No.
Okay, grab your paperwork to your left and then take a seat.
Oh, man.
And we did just have an emergency warrant come through, so I'm going to pause court for just a second, and then we'll restart it in just a moment.
An
Should be
emergency
only a couple
what?
of minutes here.
David, what's that? What is he talking about? An emergency warrant? Oh, he's gonna sign a warrant for some cops to go bust in somebody's house? Is that what he's talking about? This is just pure speculation on my end. And this word speculation I picked up from watching this channel, so if you will. Oh, he's calling. Let me see. Fines versus a chick wearing her PJs. What the what? Emergency warrant. Yup. Arizona. Yeah, so this is Arizona, Maricopa County. This is live for anybody that's here. This is actually happening in real time. This court is operated 24 hours a day, 24/7, 365 days a year. So yes, court will be going on your birthday. Yes, court will be going on New Year's. Yes, court will be going on Christmas Day. Yes. It's going to be happening every single day. No matter what time of the day you get busted, you're going to be going to court. Whether it's 7 a.m., 10 a.m., 12 p.m., 4 p.m., 8 p.m., 10 p.m., 2 a.m., 4 a.m. You're going to go to court at any of those times right there. And I wish I was making this up, but nope. Animal lover. Yeah. Let me see. Well, you sleep, you go to court. Yeah, that's what these people be showing up all super tired. Arizona. Yeah. That's crazy. Court every day. Yup. Hey, well, you know what? It's crazy.
Sorry about that. Let's go ahead and resume court. We're calling number 24, Christina Saavedra to the podium, and then Karina Everett to the chair, please.
Not 1 a.m. What do you think
May I
this
have your name and date of
young
birth?
lady
Christina
did?
Saavedra, 1031-2000.
Thank you. We are here today on a Superior Court new case. You were arrested on allegations of 3 counts of aggravated assault of an officer. All of those are Class 4 felonies.
Oh, damn.
I will find probable cause, and I will appoint you an attorney. I'm setting a status conference on February 10th at 8:30 and a preliminary hearing on February 12th at 8:30, both in the downtown Superior Court. I am going to release you today to the supervision of pretrial services. So you're going to receive an envelope before you leave court today that has details on pretrial release. Make sure that you read through that. I'm also ordering that you not return to the scene of the alleged crime, no contact with any alleged victim, complainant, or witness, no contact with the arresting officers, no drugs without a valid prescription, and no driving without a valid driver's license. All this is going to be in your paperwork. Do you have any questions?
No, sir.
Okay, go ahead and grab your paperwork to your left and take a seat.
She's probably going to go to prison.
Karina Everett to the podium, and Anthony
Crazy.
Kudis Jr. to the chair, please.
The UK needs to do this, and just for urgent, and not just for
Good
urgent
evening. May I have your
cases.
name and date of birth?
It's Karina Everett, 11/19/1979.
Thank you. We are here today on a Superior Court new case. You were arrested on allegations of 4 counts of child or vulnerable adult abuse, which is a Class 4 felony. I will find probable cause, and I will appoint you an attorney. I'm setting a status conference on February 10th at 8:30 and a preliminary hearing on February 12th at 8:30, both in the downtown Superior Court. I am going to release you today to the supervision of pretrial services. So you're going to get an envelope as you leave court today that has details on pretrial release. Make sure that you read through that. I'm also ordering that you not have contact with the arresting officers, no drugs without a valid prescription, and no driving without a valid driver's license. All this is going to be in your paperwork. Do you have any questions?
No.
Okay, go ahead and grab that to your left and take a seat.
Damn, that's no bueno.
Anthony
She gets
Cruz
one of
Jr.
these.
to the podium, and Melissa Pilkington to the chair, please. Good evening, sir. May I have your name and date of birth?
Anthony Cruz Jr., 82604.
Thank you. We are here today on a justice court warrant out of the Kyrene Justice Court. You were arrested on allegations of criminal trespassing, which is a Class 3 misdemeanor. I will find probable cause. Because it's a misdemeanor allegation, you're not entitled to court-appointed counsel, but you can hire an attorney to represent you if you'd like. I am setting an arraignment hearing in the Kyrene Justice Court on February 12th at 9:30 a.m. I'm going to release you today on what's called your own recognizance.
Me neither.
That's a promise to the court that you'll appear for that next court hearing. I'm also ordering that you not return to the scene of the alleged crime, no contact with the arresting officers, no drugs without a valid prescription, and no driving without a valid driver's license. All this is going to be in your paperwork. Do you have any questions?
Yes, sir.
Okay, go ahead and grab that to your left and take a seat.
Bam.
Melissa Pilkington to the podium, and Brianne Curry to the chair, please.
The chair. You get the chair.
Good evening. May I have your name and date of birth?
It's Melissa Pilkington, 21979.
Thank you. We are here today on a Superior Court new case. You were arrested on allegations of narcotic drug possession, Class 4 felony, and drug paraphernalia, Class 6 felony. I will find probable cause, and I will appoint you an attorney. I'm setting a status conference on February 10th at 8:30 and a preliminary hearing on February 12th at 8:30, both in the downtown Superior Court. I am going to release you today on what's called your own recognizance. That's a promise to appear at your next court dates. I'm also ordering that you not possess any weapons, no drugs without a valid prescription, and no driving without a valid driver's license. All this is going to be in your paperwork. Do you have any questions?
No.
Okay, go ahead and grab that to your left and take a seat.
Thank you.
Brianne Curry to the podium, and Dalton Vaughn to the chair, please.
M&M's could be a dangerous weapon.
Good evening. May I have your name and date of birth?
Yeah, Brian Curry, 11086.
Thank you. We are here today on a Superior Court new case. You were arrested on allegations of narcotic drug possession, Class 4 felony, dangerous drug possession, Class 4 felony, and drug paraphernalia, Class 6 felony. I will find probable cause, and I will appoint you an attorney. I'm setting a status conference on February 10th at 8:30 and a preliminary hearing on February 12th at 8:30, both in the downtown Superior Court. We're also here today on a Term 1 probation violation. I will appoint you an attorney in that case as well. Set a probation revocation arraignment hearing on January 31st at 8:30. That's in the downtown Superior Court as well. I will release you today on both of these cases on your own recognizance to be supervised by your probation officer.
Okay.
So make sure that you report to your probation officer as soon as possible.
Okay.
I'm also ordering that you not have contact with the arresting officers, no possessing any weapons, drugs, or alcohol, and you must contact probation within 72 hours of your release. The general number will be in your paperwork.
Okay.
Now, I did just want to note you were just recently instated on probation, and you're already back in front of the court on new allegations. I'm giving you a chance here to go back in the community, but you're not going to get many more of these chances, okay? Any new allegations while you're on probation, most of the time I would say, it's probably going to end up on you being held on a bond.
Okay.
So please take this very seriously,
I will.
contact probation, and whatever resources you need, probation can provide them to you,
Okay, thank you very much.
problem. Grab your paperwork to your left and take a seat.
Okay, thanks.
Hey, David, you might want
Dalton
to
Vaughn to the podium and Nolan Frazier to the chair, please.
you might want to show up to the exit, the release tank. You're gonna hit a gold
Good
mine
evening, sir.
over
May I have your
there.
name and date of birth?
Dalton Vaughn.
Damn, that
April
was tall.
26, 1995.
Thank you. We are here today on a Superior Court new case. You were arrested on allegations of dangerous drug possession, Class 4 felony, narcotic drug possession, Class 4 felony, and drug paraphernalia, Class 6 felony. I will find probable cause, and I will appoint you an attorney. I'm setting a status conference on February 10th at 8:30 and a preliminary hearing on February 12th at 8:30, both in the downtown Superior Court. I am going to release you today on your own recognizance. That's a promise to appear at your next court dates. I'm also ordering as a condition of release that you not have any drugs without a valid prescription and no driving without a valid driver's license. All this is going to be in your paperwork. Do you have any questions?
No, sir.
Okay, go ahead and grab that to your left and take a seat.
Thank you.
Adios,
Nolan
amigo.
Frazier to the podium and Robert Miller to the chair, please.
That's the homie Tutar right there.
Good evening, sir. May I have your name and date of birth?
Nolan Frazier, April 18, 2006.
Thank you. We are here today on a Justice Court new case out of the Encanto Justice Court. You were arrested on allegations of 1 count of DUI, drug metabolite in your system, which is a Class 1 misdemeanor, 1 count of DUI, liquor, drugs, or vapor in your system, a Class 1 misdemeanor, 1 count of liquor, minor possession after drinking, Class 1 misdemeanor, and then liquor possession open container in a vehicle, a Class 2 misdemeanor. I will find probable cause as to these allegations, and I will appoint you an attorney. I will set an arraignment hearing in the Encanto Justice Court on February 13th at 1:30 p.m. I am going to release you today on your own recognizance. That's a promise to appear at your next court date. I'm also ordering that you not have any contact with the arresting officers, no weapons, no drugs without a valid prescription, no possessing or consuming any alcohol, and no driving without a valid driver's license. Now, I don't know if your license has already been suspended, but typically with the DUI allegation, it can be. So check with the MVD before you get behind the wheel of a vehicle. No driving unless you can verify that the license is valid. Okay. All this is going to be in your paperwork. Do you have any questions?
Thank you for the follow.
No,
okay, go ahead and grab that to your left and take a seat.
Hey, for those of you who are tuning in, hey,
Robert
don't forget.
Miller to the podium.
Don't forget to follow. Follow. It's free 99. Doesn't cost you anything. Don't be a Scrooge. Don't be a Scrooge McDuck.
May I have your name and date of birth?
Robert Miller, 10/13/78.
Thank you. We are here today on a Superior Court new case. You were arrested on allegations of aggravated DUI, license suspended or revoked, which is a Class 4 felony. I'm not finding probable cause today.
Right.
Based on what I was provided by the arresting agency, I was not able to verify that your license is in fact suspended fully.
Right.
It does at least appear from what I can see that the commercial component of your license has been suspended, but there's nothing that I can find at this point that says your general license is suspended, so I'm not finding probable cause.
Thank you.
Now, that being said, the state can still charge you with something down the line based on the allegations, but what was presented to the court today, I cannot find probable cause.
Okay.
What I am going to do is I'm still setting a hearing in the downtown Superior Court on February 10th at 8:30.
Okay.
I'm going to release you because there is no probable cause being found, but you do still have to go to that hearing. I would suggest calling the court a couple of days before that hearing to see if it is still going forward.
Okay.
If the state declines to file any further charges, it's likely that hearing will go away. But don't just show up.
No, I'll be there with my attorney. But another thing too, I wasn't even driving; I was parked.
So that's more of a question for your attorney. I'm not finding probable cause today.
I got you.
There's a lot of components to DUI, whether the vehicle is actually moving or not, as part of that. So talk with your attorney. I'm appointing you an attorney in this case because it was a felony allegation. But if you want to hire one, you can do that as well. So you'll at least have a hearing at that, or an attorney at that hearing as well.
Thank you very much.
Go ahead and grab your paperwork to your left and take it.
Hey, just an FYI.
Jordan Gilliam to the podium.
If you have access to your keys and you've been drinking and you're inside your car, you're gonna get a DUI. The only way to avoid that is put your keys in your trunk.
Jordan Gilliam, 11/20/1993.
Thank you. We are here today on a Justice Court warrant out of the Moon Valley Justice Court. It is for a DUI allegation, a Class 1 misdemeanor. I will find probable cause and I will appoint you an attorney. I'm setting an arraignment hearing in the Moon Valley Justice Court on February 14th at 10 a.m. I am going to release you today. Oh, give me 1 second.
I'll give you 2 seconds. Yeah, hey, so you're drinking? Leave your keys in the trunk.
I just realized.
If not, you're gonna end up over here on TikTok. I wouldn't put him in the glove compartment. I would definitely put him in the trunk because you can't have access to them. They will get you for that, or give them to a buddy, or throw them in the snow. But then you might freeze if your car's not on. So it's a catch-22 here. Do you want to be sleeping with the fishes, or do you want to be freezing in a court tank?
So I'm going to release you today on your own recognizance, but I do not want to warn you. I am concerned with some of the allegations that were presented to the court today, besides just the driving under the influence, the erratic driving, and the fact that it doesn't appear, at least from the allegations, that you may not have been in your right mind to be in a motor vehicle at that point in time. It doesn't appear that you allegedly had hurt anybody in this case, but that's not always the fact when you're driving, like the way that they're saying that you were driving. So I do want to caution you. I'm going to release you on your own recognizance because you don't have any criminal history. I don't think you're necessarily a danger to the community, but I do have some concerns. As a part of my release, I'm also ordering that you not possess any drugs without a valid prescription, no possessing or consuming any alcohol, and no driving without a valid driver's license. It is likely that your license has already been suspended, so check with the DMV before you get behind the wheel of a vehicle. Please take all of this very seriously when choosing to drive in the future. All of this will be in your paperwork. Do you have any questions?
No.
Okay, go ahead and grab that to your left and take a seat.
And the people that are wearing regular
Ezekiel
clothes,
Velasquez to the podium, and Matthew Crone to the chair, please.
they haven't been processed into the jail yet, so they just got picked up.
How you doing, Yana?
Good evening. May I have your name and date of birth?
Ezekiel Velasquez, 042186.
Thank you. We are here today on a Superior Court arrest warrant. You were charged with 1 count of shoplifting, less purchase price, Class 5 felony, and shoplifting, removal of goods, Class 1 misdemeanor.
Felony?
I will find probable cause has already been found in this case, but I will appoint you an attorney. I'm setting a status conference on February 10th at 8:30 and a preliminary hearing on February 12th at 8:30, both in the downtown Superior Court. I am going to release you today on what's called your own recognizance. That's a promise that you'll appear at the next court date. I'm also ordering that you not return to the scene of any alleged crime, no contact with any victims, complainants, or witnesses, no drugs without a valid prescription, and no driving without a valid driver's license. All this is going to be in your paperwork. Do you have any questions?
Thank you, Honor.
Go ahead and grab your paperwork to your left and take a seat.
Screw that.
Matthew Crone to the podium.
I would have just
and
paid
then
for
Alex
the damn
Tucker to the chair, please.
for the damn items. Now you're on TikTok. And man, he doesn't get his orange suit.
Good evening, sir. May I have your name and date of birth?
Yes, Matthew Crone, and date of birth is September 4th, 1991.
Thank you. Give me just 1 second here.
I'll give you 2 seconds. 1, 2. Tap, tap, tap. If you're not tapping, you must be napping. Or clapping. If you're clapping, you're good. But if you're napping, no bueno. Tap, 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 por favor, and hit that,
So
hit
we're
that
here
follow
today on
button.
2 different cases. The first is a Superior Court new case. You were arrested on allegations of narcotic drug possession, a Class 4 felony. I'm not finding probable cause as to that allegation today. That doesn't mean that necessarily goes away or that you can't be charged with something similar down the line, but with what I was provided from the arresting agency, I'm not finding probable cause. So I am appointing you an attorney, and I will still set a status conference on February 10th at 8:30 in the downtown Superior Court. Because I'm not finding probable cause, you will be released today on these allegations, but you still have that court hearing. You may want to call the court a couple of days before then to see if that hearing is still moving forward. It is possible if the state declines to actually file anything that goes away. But you do have to show up unless you're being told that is no longer a hearing. We're also here today on a probation violation for violating Term 1. Term 1 is that new allegations were filed. Since I'm not finding probable cause as to the underlying new case, I'm also not finding probable cause on your probation violation. So likewise, I will still appoint you an attorney. I'm setting a hearing in the downtown Superior Court on January 31st at 8:30, but I'm not holding you on this one either. Okay, so you should be processed for release today. All of this is going to be in your paperwork. Do you have any questions?
So I'm getting out then?
Correct.
All right, and then I should just call my probation officer and get out and let her know?
Yes, call your probation officer because your probation officer will probably have more information as well.
So she filed a warrant because she thought that I had acquired new charges?
So new charges while you're on probation is an automatic violation of your probation. That's why the probation violation was filed.
Okay.
It's called not remaining law-abiding is the Term 1 violation.
Okay.
So that's why it's kind of, they go hand in hand. They're the same incident, but one is a new charge and one of them is a probation violation.
I understand.
Okay. So all that's going to be in your paperwork. Do you have any other questions?
I don't. Thank you, sir.
Grab your paperwork and take a seat.
So still go to court for it, I guess?
Yes, yes.
Should I call them later?
Yes.
All right, cool. Thank you.
Alec Tucker to the podium.
Tucker is up next.
Hi.
Good evening, sir. May I have your name and date of birth?
Alec Tucker, 4/26/1992.
Thank you. We are here today on what's called a fugitive of justice case. I see that you have that placard in front of you. Did you have that ability to read through that?
I did.
Okay, I'm going to go over everything with
He's
you
a
anyway,
fugitive.
but I just want to make sure you have the opportunity, okay?
Okay.
So we are here today because you do have a warrant out of the state of Colorado for your arrest. So you do have a choice to make at this time. You can choose to waive your right to an extradition hearing and voluntarily be returned back to Colorado within 30 days, or you can demand an extradition hearing and be governor's warrant would need to be signed by the governors of both states before you are returned. If you choose to waive your right to a hearing, you would be held non-bondable in the Maricopa County Jail for a period of up to 30 days to allow Colorado time to come and get you. That 30-day period would start tomorrow as long as you don't have any criminal charges pending against you anywhere in Arizona. If there are criminal charges pending, you would be held, and that 30-day period would not begin until those charges are resolved. If you choose to have an extradition hearing, I will set a hearing in the downtown Superior Court on February 3rd at 1:30 p.m. I cannot appoint you an attorney in this case because these cases are civil in nature, but you do have the right to hire an attorney at your own expense if you choose. You are entitled to bail in this case. It would be a secured bond in the amount of $1,000. If you do post bond, you can be released into the community pending your extradition case, but you still have to go to court on those matters. If you're unable to post that bond during your extradition process, you would remain in custody until that bond is either posted or until another judge modifies your bail. A governor's warrant signed by the governors of both states is required to extradite you back to Colorado, and that process could take up to 90 days. So you have two different options. Do you have any questions about your two options?
Yeah, just for clarification, can you just like bottom line both options for me?
Let me simplify it. So you have two options. You can voluntarily return to Colorado, or you can fight the extradition and have a hearing. So if you
I don't have means to get to Colorado, so I'm going to have to do the other one.
No, so there's two different options. If you voluntarily return to Colorado, you're held in Maricopa County for up to 30 days. That gives Colorado time to come and get you. You don't have to find your own way. Colorado would come and get you. That could take up to 30 days. They could come and get you tomorrow. They could come and get you on day 29. But if after 30 days they have not come and picked you up, you would be released. Otherwise, if you want to fight your extradition back to Colorado, I set a hearing in the downtown Superior Court. There's a whole process to get the proper paperwork signed by Colorado and the paperwork signed by Arizona to determine if you are in fact extraditable back to Colorado. That whole process could take up to 90 days. During that time, I'm setting a bond on you for $1,000. If you post that $1,000 bond, you can be released while that extradition process is going on. So you can be back in the community. You just have to keep showing back up to court until a determination on whether you're extraditable is made. So
I understand. I'd rather pursue the first one.
The voluntarily returning?
Yeah.
Okay. So I have to ask you some questions to make sure that you're making this decision under your own free will.
Okay.
So you already read the waiver of extradition paperwork. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you understand that you do not have to sign this paperwork?
Yes.
Do you understand that you have the right to have an extradition hearing?
Yes.
Do you understand that you have the right to hire a lawyer at your own expense?
Yes.
Do you understand that you have the right to demand that the governor's warrant be signed by the governors of both states before you're returned back to Colorado?
Yes.
Do you understand that you have the right to bail in this case if I do set an extradition hearing?
Yes.
Okay. Do you want to give up those rights and sign the paperwork?
No.
Okay. So if you don't give up those rights, that means you're kept here for that extradition process.
Well,
so is that the way you want to go?
What would it look like if I did give up?
So to voluntarily return to Colorado, you have to give up your right to extradition. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Okay. Yes. I didn't mean to go back.
No, you're fine.
I thought
do you understand that you have do you want to give up these rights to have an extradition process and voluntarily return and sign the paperwork?
Dope.
Okay. Has anyone threatened you or promised you anything to get you to sign this paper?
No.
Have you had any drugs, alcohol, or medication in the last 24 hours that affects your ability to make a decision?
Not really, no.
Okay, so do you think you're under your own free will right now making this decision? Okay. I do find that you knowingly, intelligently, and voluntarily are signing the waiver, and I am also signing it. I'm directing the sheriff's office that the requesting state that you are ready to return. The requesting state will have 30 days from tomorrow to pick you up unless there are local charges pending. If there are local charges pending, that 30 days will not start until those are resolved. I'll go ahead and have you step up to your right over here. I have to have you sign a couple of things, and then we'll get you on your way. Okay?
My wife would have been calling him inútil.
Go back up to the podium just to the mic.
Inútil.
If they don't pick me up in the 30 days, what happens?
Then you're released.
This is your brain.
Okay, go ahead and step up to your right. We're gonna have you sign.
That's your brain on rugs right there, kids. Don't do
them.
them.
Do that, officers. Is there a reason number 31 can't be brought to court?
He didn't watch that commercial from the 80s. This is a neg.
So in order to do his hearing,
this is a
neg. We're going to have the iPad go back there. I know that that's a lot for you guys. Is there a possibility he can be brought to court by himself if we clear the gallery?
Hey, joke's going to be on him.
I don't want you guys to put yourselves in danger either if that's going to be an issue.
He's about to go cross country on a on a van, and they're just going to have him chained up, the black box for days. I wouldn't be surprised if
I dealt with the murder.
Okay, perfect. So let's go ahead and grab him. Do you want to do the other one first, or do you think it's okay if he's in the gallery?
No, we could.
Because we're gonna have to get the language line on that.
Okay.
Man, woo! That fool, he's fried. He's a few French fries short of a Happy Meal.
He's fine.
If you catch my drift, where the elevator's not going all the way up.
Do the house call with the tablet. That's fine.
So we do need to do the tablet for the house call. You can't bring him in.
No, I can't bring him in.
He's gonna be
a tablet.
He's combative. I mean, I could try it. I get 3.
I mean, it's up to you. If you think
tablet.
you would put yourselves or him in danger if you were brought to court, let's not do that. But if you can safely bring him in, it's a little bit easier than using the tablet. I'll leave it up to you guys.
Wait, I didn't sign up for this. Don't need crayons, kids. That's right, David.
I'll double check.
Yeah, while we're waiting, maybe someone can check to see if he's maybe in a better spot right now.
That cool cup, I met him the last time I was there. Damn. Bring him in. Nah, it's cooler when they keep him in the cell. They take an iPad to their cell, and they hold the iPad through the food port.
This Commissioner Coffin with IE.
And that's how they do it. That person is very dangerous, and they don't want to bring him in. Hell, they're not trying to risk their life. No way, no how. Oh wow. Yeah, it's like Hannibal Lecter. Probably got him in a mask and everything. I want to see him go crazy. I want to see the danger. Stranger danger. Hey, you guys, these are serious matters that are happening here, and you guys just want to be entertained. You guys sicken me. Bring him in. Gotta watch chat tonight. Hey, yesterday the chat blew up. For those of you guys that were here, man, that one girl with the 5 dogs. Hey, I was talking about that all night to my wife yesterday. I was like, man, she didn't believe me. She was like, what's that? I was like, hey, they got this girl. She got caught doing bestialities. And she's like, what's that? I was like, you don't know what bestiality is? She's like, no. And then I explained to her, and her eyes got big, and she was like, "No." I was like, "Yeah, look at the video. Look. Let me show you. Let me show you something. Step into my office." And I showed it to her, and she's like, "What the what?" And then her sisters came over, and then I was like, "Hey, look, check this out. They got this girl doing bestiality," and they're like, they're just like looking at me, just blinking, like what's bestiality? What is that, like a best friend or something? And then I explained to them, and their eyes just got big, like ooh. I was like, hey, it's a crazy world out there. Protect your kids, protect your pets, because you just never know. There's somebody out there always trying to get over on you. Sick puppies out there. And I'm not talking about those dogs that got victimized. Poor dogs didn't have no choice. And I hope she didn't use any freaking peanut butter, because that's what somebody said in the chat. Protective order for 5 dogs. Hey, and if I'm lying, I'm dying. I wish I was making this up. If you go check out the last video that I clipped yesterday, and you'll see who I'm talking about. The most funny moment yesterday was the hobo. You guys remember the hobo? Who got the hobo yesterday? Who got the hobo?
Do we have our interpreter on the line?
I seen that last night. Is that here? On both. Both. It's on both.
You may have your name and your interpreter
and the peanut butter.
Sure, I will introduce myself in English and in Spanish again, since you are a new party on the line. This is Language Line Solutions, RC243705, and I will be your Spanish interpreter today.
We got the T-Mo
interpreter. Thank you very much. And are you prepared to interpret for a legal matter?
Yes.
Maybe.
Okay, let's go ahead and get started. May we have Victor Trinidad Rosas to the podium?
Oh, no. Let's see what this. I hope it's not one of those bad cases.
Podríamos pedir que venga al podio Víctor Trinidad Rosas. Yo soy el intérprete en esta ocasión.
Okay. Good evening, sir. May I have your name and date of birth?
Buenas tardes, señor. ¿Podría darme su nombre y su fecha de nacimiento?
Es Víctor Alfonso Trinidad Rosas, 25 de julio de 1989.
¿Dijo usted julio o junio?
Julio.
J-U-N-I-O, ¿correcto?
Sí, Julio.
Julio.
07.
This is Interpreter speaking. I was just...
this guy sucks at translating.
I was just confirming part of that information, since the audio to the telephone lines is not perfect. There is a lot of distortion. So. Thank you. What my name is Víctor Alfonso Trinidad Rosas.
I don't think this is a danger.
My date of birth is July the 25th of 1989.
Thank you. We are here today on a Superior Court new case.
Bueno, gracias. Estamos aquí el día de hoy en el Tribunal Superior con su caso.
You were arrested on allegations of drug paraphernalia, Class 6 felony.
Okay, regular. 1 star. He's going to get a 1 star for that one. This isn't the danger.
Lo que le arrestaron, esto debido a algunos, bueno, se dice, se alega que usted tenía parafernalia para consumo de drogas. Y esto es una felonía clase C.
Dangerous drug possession, class 4 felony.
Posesión peligrosa de drogas. Esto es una felonía clase 4.
And knowingly displaying a false license plate, class 2 misdemeanor.
Bueno, y con conocimiento, usted tenía desplegada una placa de un vehículo, la placa era falsa, y esta es una falta menor, clase 2.
I will find probable cause and I will appoint you an attorney.
Yo sí encuentro causa probable y le voy a designar un abogado.
I am setting a status conference in the downtown Superior Court on February 10th at 8:30 a.m.
Así pues, yo voy a establecerle una conferencia en el Tribunal Superior y que se encuentra en el centro de la ciudad. En febrero 10 a las 8:30 a.m.
I am releasing you today on what's called your own recognizance.
Pero le voy a poner en libertad el día de hoy bajo la promesa de que usted regresará al tribunal cuando se le indique, en una fecha posterior.
He sucks.
That's a promise that you will appear to your next court hearing.
Eso es una promesa de que usted se presentará en su próxima fecha que tenga que hacerlo en el tribunal.
I'm also ordering that you not possess any drugs without a valid prescription.
También ordeno que usted no posea ninguna droga sin una receta válida.
And no driving without a valid driver's license.
Y que no vaya a conducir sin una licencia de conducir válida.
All of this will be in your paperwork. Do you have any questions?
Todo esto estará en sus documentos.
Sucks.
¿Tiene usted alguna pregunta?
No está.
Hey, the dangerous one, I think they're putting on his jacket, a straight jacket right now.
Está bien, digo, no.
No. All right.
What a butterfly.
Okay, go ahead and grab your paperwork from the officer to your left and take a seat.
De acuerdo, tome los documentos de su oficial que se encuentra a su izquierda y tome asiento.
Hey, I know everybody needs to make a living out there and
And can
get
we
their
have
hustle on,
Jose Covarrubias to the podium?
but this guy, he sucks at his job. He's there.
Podemos pedir que venga José Covarrubias al podio.
He should be looking for another job, like working for Verizon,
Good
translating
evening,
for
sir. May I have your
Verizon.
name and date of birth?
Nalgas
José Obleco
tumbadas.
Barrubias.
Buenas tardes, señor. Un momento, por favor. Buenas tardes. Por favor, diga su nombre y su fecha de nacimiento.
José Obleco Barrubias, 12-16-69.
¿De qué mes?
Del 12, 16 días, 69.
Inútil. This fool sucks, man. Ah, man. Every time he comes on, he
Is
just
our
messes
interpreter
everything
still
up.
there?
No, that fool left. That fool hung up.
Yeah, the audio did lapse for a second. The name is José Olea Covarrubias. And the date of birth is 12/6 of the 69.
This guy's good. He said,
Is your date of birth December 16th,
Yeah,
1969?
uh-huh.
Es su fecha de nacimiento, diciembre 16 de 1969.
12 días.
Estamos preguntando. This is interpreter speaking. He is not confirming 1216 of the 69. Let me ask him again.
Who else is going to be speaking?
Le estamos preguntando
This is
que
the
si su
interpreter
fecha de
speaking.
nacimiento es diciembre 16 de 1969.
Sí.
Yes.
Okay, sir, I understand that you may understand some English, but make sure you give time for the interpreter to interpret into Spanish before you respond.
Okay.
I just remember.
Señor, puedo entender que usted sepa algo de inglés.
Hey, who was here for the
Pero,
guy that was talking English, but they wanted him to
queremos
talk
que
in Spanish?
usted le dé tiempo al intérprete para poder traducir la información al español antes de que usted responda. ¿Entiende?
That was funny.
And he did shake his head yes.
Yes.
Thank you for Your Honor.
Thank you. We are here today for 2 probation violation warrants.
Está usted aquí debido a una violación de
What?
2 órdenes de arresto de libertad con condiciones.
Oh, hold on.
It's for violating terms 3 and 5 of your probation.
I was lost in translation there. I heard
Fue por haber
violaciones.
violado los términos 3 y 5 de su libertad con condiciones.
What's up,
I
Key
will
Larson?
appoint you an attorney to represent you.
Le voy a designar un abogado para que lo represente.
I'm setting a hearing in the Downtown Superior Court on January 31st at 8:30 a.m.
We need to find out the terms 3 and
Que
5
voy a
of probation.
establecerle
Anybody been on probation in
programarle una
Arizona? Can they
audiencia
tell us in
en el
what's 3 and
tribunal
5?
superior que se encuentra en el centro de la ciudad. En enero 31 a las 8:30 AM.
I am going to order a secured appearance bond in both cases for $750.
Y también voy a ordenar que se le imponga una fianza de aseguramiento de presentación en ambos casos por $750.
He ain't going nowhere.
That's $1,500 total.
Ese sería un total de $1,500.
If you post that bond, you can be released.
Sorry, Your Honor, you said that if he pays his bond, he can be released?
Yes.
Bueno, si usted paga su fianza, podrá ser puesto en libertad.
But I'm also ordering that you not possess any weapons.
Pero también voy a ordenar que usted no posea ningún arma.
No drugs without a valid prescription.
No drogas sin una receta válida.
No possessing or consuming any alcohol.
No poseer ni consumir nada de alcohol.
And you must contact your probation officer within 72 hours of release.
Y usted tendrá que ponerse en contacto con su oficial de libertad con condiciones dentro de las siguientes 72 horas después de haber sido puesto en libertad.
The number for probation will be in your paperwork.
Y el número de Departamento de Libertad con Condiciones se encontrará en
Triple
sus
C,
documentos.
I'm gonna buy some.
Do you have any questions?
¿Tiene usted alguna pregunta?
I'll be like, don't be this interpreter. Be like me. Have my lokes on.
Yo no velé la probation. Nomás me agarraron de la tienda trayendo un pan. Ese no tenía comida.
This is the interpreter speaking, Your Honor. Due to grammatical mistakes he's making when he speaks in Spanish, it's not clear what he's trying to say. Let me just ask him to please clarify.
Sure.
He speaks Spanish, but with so many grammatical mistakes that it's not clear what he asked. A ver, señor,
Okay,
por
you can
favor,
go-
repita su pregunta.
Que yo no, a mí no, yo no velé el probation. Yo nomás salí de mi casa a buscar un pan para comer porque tenía 4 días sin comer y fue todo.
Un pan para comer. What the what?
Okay, this is interpreter speaking. He's stating that he did not violate probation. He says he doesn't think he violated any probation, that he went out of his home to buy some bread because he had been 4 days without eating anything.
Well, she's about to eat 3 meals a day.
So you were placed on probation in September of 2024 and have not had contact with your probation officer since then.
Because I don't have no phone or nothing.
Yeah, he didn't have a phone. Come on, man.
Señor, lo que usted fue puesto en libertad con condiciones en septiembre del 2024, pero usted no ha tenido ningún contacto desde entonces con su oficial de libertad con condiciones.
Like watch me drive.
So at this point, you need to talk with your attorney. Your attorney can provide you with more information on this case.
Así que en este punto ya necesitará usted estar con un abogado.
We need that dangerous guy to come on now. That's it. They need to risk their lives.
Proporcionarle más información acerca de esto.
All the information you need right now is going to be in your paperwork, so go ahead and grab that to your left and then take a seat.
Toda la información que usted necesitará está en los documentos que se encuentran a su izquierda. Así que cójalos y tome asiento. Están a su izquierda.
Next, vámonos, sáquenlo
And
afuera.
thank you so much for our interpreter. That was the last case we needed
This is
you
sad. I
on, so
don't
feel
think
free
he
to
even
disconnect
knows.
at any time.
He knows he's on probation.
You're welcome, Your Honor. We want to thank you for using our services. We appreciate your calls and have a nice evening. And to everybody else
You
in
as
the
well.
courtroom, have a nice evening too. Thank you.
Thank you. That does conclude the 5 p.m. calendar. We will stand in recess until 8 p.m.
All right, guys. So I guess this is it. They're shutting it down. They just shut it down. Anyhow, hey, guys, if you guys haven't hit that subscribe button, please hit that